Good morning. Welcome you all, Manipal University Jaipur, in online programs, and welcome to program Bachelor of Computer Application. And we are going to discuss the understanding PC and troubleshooting. The subject code is DCA 1104. And today we are going to discuss. This is the second day to discuss the subject introductions. So here we will discuss about the understanding PC and troubleshooting. So today agendas are my introduction, course introduction, academic calendar, course program, assignment and exam clarity, LMS notifications, learner contact in DB. So first start with my profile. I myself, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Tiwari. I am course coordinator of your subject understanding PC and troubleshooting, and this fall under the BCA program. I have done my PhD, MPhil and MCA. So in a first semester, you have a 5 subjects. The code are DCA 1101 Fundamental of IT and Programming, DCA 1102 Programming in C, DCA 1103 Basic Mathematics, DCA 1104 Understanding PC and Troubleshooting, DCA 1130 Programming in C Practicals. This practicals belongs to your DCA 1102, and I will teach you understanding PC and troubleshooting. The subject code of understanding PC and troubleshooting is DCA 1104. So what we learn in this subjects, in this subjects helps you not only gain the required knowledge of different component of PC, as well as you will understand the what are the troubleshootings and how we can resolve these problems. In this course, you also understand the period diagnostic methods, and also you will know the components of the PC and how PC, what are the role of the type of problems are come, what type of problems will come, how can problems and how we solve. So this is PC and this is also a subject because we all know the computers, we all know the mobile, we don't know what are the problems components using these components in a particular. Okay, so the course objectives that what will so we have objectives. So with these objectives are understand the what are the role of the boards and what things problems where occur, how we can do things, how we can types of buses and identify the troubleshoot that faults on the, and also we'll understand the CMOS and what is the CMOS and how CMOS is work in our PC. Also, we will understand the BIOS problems. What is the BIOS? What BIOS problem and what are the BIOS problems? And also, you will learn power and how we manage the power problem. What are the Windows operators? How will we want to our PC in a sleep mode when we want to PC hibernate, when we go shut down. We understand is subject. Also, in this course, we will understand choices and different types of storage devices, atoms occur in storage devices, how practice device, and what are the rules of storage devices. Here, basically, we will learn the storage, what primary storage, what secondary storage, and how we can manage primary and secondary. Also, we will learn to what are the primary memory in a primary or a secondary memory. That time how we can handle that time we will learn in this subject. And also under using the can understand and understand SC. So you see and that we can understand and how we are going to this. After the course objectives, here we have a 14 and just one UC. Those just in a 14 unit here we will discuss CPU basics. Here we will understand what are the buses, processor mode, modern CPU concept, CISC versus RISC, circuit size, die size, processor speed, processor cooling, system clock, architecture performance features, processors, and in a processor we will understand which type of processor we are using, which type of series we are using. Here we will discuss the 8088, 8086 and 80386, and we will also discuss the Intel Pentium P5. In this unit we will also discuss Intel Pentium 2nd, Core 2, Atom, AMD CPU, CPU overclocking, clocking requirements, potential pitfalls, overclocking of the system, overclocking the Intel processors. These things we will discuss in a unit 1. Why it is an important unit? Because in a processor we always hear about the we have a quad core processor, we have a dual core processors, and here we will understand why we are using the core, why we are using the quad core, octa core, hexa core processor, and what are the roles of these processors. And when these processors generate the heats, that time we need the cooling systems. So how to manage the cooling systems? There is a clock. If you are going to shut down your PC, and that after shutdown you will open your PC or on your PC, that you have checked the clock is always working. How the clock is working if the system is shut down? That things you will understand in this unit. And what are the role of buses, how to manage the buses, how we are transferring the information from one components to another components, and what are the basic difference between one Intel type processor to the another Intel type processors. What are the basic between the quad core, octa core, hexa core processors. These things we will understand in unit first. In a continuation of unit first, in unit 2 we will discuss the memory. In a memory we will discuss what are the memory organization, what are the memory packets, how the processor manage the memories, what are the meaning of memory speed, memory types, memory techniques, selection and installation of memory, how we can get the right amount of the memory, what are the troubleshootings, how we can understand now our memory is not working, what are the sign of troubleshooting of memory, and how we can repair, what are the RAM, what are the ROM, what is the role of cache, what are the role of the RAM, and how it is implemented with manage the cache, how the cache connected with the RAM, and how the RAM get the information from the secondary memory, what type of secondary memory we are using, what are the role of secondary memory, why we are saying this is the primary memory and this is one of the secondary memory, why we are telling RAM is a primary memory and hard disk is a secondary memory, pen drive is a secondary memory, SSD is a secondary memory. That things we will learn, understand the memory. Here we are going to also learn what are the hierarchy of the memory. Hierarchy means which one is the first will come when we will use the word second memory. That time we will use the second memory. What is the second and third? It means we are going to the first cache, then RAM, then secondary memory. So here we will also understand hierarchy of memory and how to manage the memory and what are the role and responsibilities of operating system to manage the memory, and if any problems occurs, if there are any problems, if it means if we are not able to use the memory, that time how we can understand now this problem is in a memory section and how we can solve it. So these things we will understand in unit 2. In unit 3, we will discuss the motherboard. Here, why we are saying here a motherboard? Because it's work like a mother. Here is everything to manage. Here everything, it means there are a lot of slots, memory slots, expansion slots, power chipset, upgradation, consideration. These are things in a motherboard. So how we can understand the sockets, slots, memory slots, and how the motherboard work and how the motherboard manage all these things in this. Here we are using the chipset and original different end motherboard. So here we are going to understand one mechanism. What is the rule of 8-bit ISA? What is the rule of 16-bit ISA? What is the difference between 8-bit to which is the best, and how we can see 8-bit and how give the what are the PC layout and how what is the accelerator graphics port. We will understand CPU versus PCI layout signal and in Unit 5 we understand CMOS tactics, configuration standard of CMOS setups and troubleshooting. Here we will understand the CMOS, role of CMOS, use of CMOS, and how it manages the clock and everything we will understand in Unit 5. In Unit 6, we will understand basic input output systems. It is BIOS, and here what is the role of power on self test, routine test, BIOS features, AMI BIOS, award of BIOS, micro ID or research, MR BIOS, identify the BIOS chip, BIOS and boot sequence, BIOS short cupping, and compatibility study, device drivers, BIOS shading, direct control, BIOS bugs and troubleshootings. So in this unit we are going to discuss what are the BIOS, what are the role of BIOS, what are the features of BIOS, and what is that time which work will handled by the BIOS. But we want to identify the boot sequence which will suit that time. If when we are going to start a system, that time BIOS will help. So how we will power in a particular PC we need a particular certain amounts of in management, how the switching power supply and how we can manage the power measurements and how system manages the internally the power management. In these things we will understand same. In storage we will understand time storage volatile and non-volatile storage device. Why we are seeing price at that time what was the device mostly are which type of data and what are the type of storage devices we in unit course. In unit 9 we will understand the parallel port and time diagram and basically how we can configure the parallel, what are the signals and those we will understand in unit 9. In unit port, here we will understand the serial ports. Here we will be able to understand what is the meaning of parallel port and serial ports and how we are the serial port is the asynchronous and parallel port is a synchronous communication. In a serial port, we send the data frames and all these when we are in the parallel port, these things we will understand in a serial ports in unit 10. And how the and also understand the modems and signal modulation and what is the how digital and digital to analog and what is the analog and digital work these in a serial port. In a output device, input device and processes and appear that each device is called output devices. So here and output devices and output device are rules responsibilities of input and output and we have which and how the output is and mouse playback clock screen we will are input and which devices are output. Cards, sound cards, and what are troubleshooting for sound card and we can understand what are the full duplex and input and output devices we are using in. Well, we will understand the video adapter and that understand redirects and replace and adapters, and what are the adapters, how we can go behind the good video accelerators, and what are the rules of graphics accelerator, what what are the drivers we are using to extend the SCI USB system. So here we are understand the computer station, what are consideration, USB system, how we connect the USB system, what the plug and play devices, how can you plug devices, the meaning of plug and play here. If we suppose have used plug and play, keyboard work as a plug and play, we have to only insert the wire in a device and use and play some on motherboards and tablets. So these 14 units we are going to understand in this topic, in this course particular, understanding PC and troubleshooting. Here I am going to summarize to all what we are going to understand this particular subject. So this subject is divided of 14 units. These units set particular topic. This topic give a number 14. We are going to start this word in memory management, discuss understand how we can, if any problems occur, how we can understand which type of problem we are going to understand in this subject. And in this academic today of your it is yesterday. This is the second assignment evaluation will start 22 to April 2022. Online exam before the 2-week event of physical examination will 2022. The term exam is 2022. So here we have 2 months to things, and in some April we will complete every to teach every unit 1, and here we will also discuss during class. We are going to take the external exams and how we, if you have any doubt, but it will intimate you when you have a booking system for the exams, and when it will close, there is a team which will help. So executions, visual exam, complete 25% learning level in LMS, and there are contest you and PDF you have your classes sessions. I will be available live. I will show queries, self model also we will and complete also you have complete the 75% learning requirements, and these 6 also complete. Okay, so what are the internal assignment? There are 2 separate parts. Internal month starts, so you will the internal after the month, and here is a 2 sets per subjects and 3 marks each, and here you have to submit in the and you submit by using a test system. Give you if I actually so how you can where assignment where how you can okay for the you have to understand the 40%. And term examination, it will be the remote proctored online exams, so you can give your exam from your home with the remote proctor. There will be the proctors, they will check you are doing exam in a fair manner or not, and you can give your exam laptop and desktop, but they are just must you have a Windows operating system. It is working in a Windows operating system, and the end-term exam will be the 70 marks, and there will be the MCQ 10 MCQ 20 marks, and there will be the descriptive of the 50 marks. And descriptive is also divided into 2 parts: short answer and long answer. Short answer will be the 30 marks, and long 20, and long answer will be the 20 marks. And it is a flexible to examination schedule. You can pick any date, any time for giving the examination. So here is a no foundation, but here is a date foundation. You have to give the exam certain date to a certain date, but you can book your exam in OES in any date and any time schedules. Okay, so it is a flexible to give the exam. So here I am going to the again clear there are 2 parts of the exam, internal and end-term. It is also called a term examination. Internal will be the 30 marks and external will be the 70 marks. In internal you have to submit your assignment submissions, and here you have to give the exam. Okay, and this will be the remote proctor exams. It means you can give your exam from home and proctors will see. We will provide the software, which software you have to install and how you will use. We will send the section, and these instructions will given by the examination departments. And now how you will use the LMS and what are the learning mechanisms. So here you can see learning. Here you can see in the at that place. Here is a, if you have login that time you can see your name, and here you can go in a my course section. Here you can see here is the my course sections, and in my course section here is the BBA, and you can select in a you will get the BBA, and here you will here you can see the different subjects, course and subjects, and here will be the e-content. And you can check here is a e-tutorial, e-content, discussion forum, assessment, end of units. Here is the videos you can check. So here you can use this. In this part you can check your course program and different courses which are available in particular semester, and also you can take the advantages of e-library and you can check how you can use. If you want any help and support, that time you can also click on help and support, and if you want to any further information, that time you can also visit the onlinemoneypal.com. And this is divided in a, your LMS system is divided in a 4 part. First is a welcome dashboard. Here you will find your course and different subject codes, and you can find also the different subjects code images, and if you will click, that time you will get the course material and syllabus of this particular course. And here is a notification tab. You will get the notification which we have discussed, which type of notification you will get. You will get exam related, course completions, internal, and all these things. And here is the instant notification. You can check the instant notification section for the instant notifications, and you can also save the instant notifications for using in future. And next one, how we will support to students. So first part is how can a student raise a query if they have any doubts, if you want to contact to the university. So here is a student portal. You have to visit in a student portal. We have already seen the student portal first, or a call and support. You can call and you can email us. Okay. And this support is divided in a 2 part. First part is an academic query and second part is a non-academic query. In academic query, you can raise a question for a course related, course content related. If you have any doubt, that time you can contact. So how you can contact? You can raise a query. The course mentor will check your query, and this query is sent to the program coordinator, and program coordinator let us know for the course coordinators, and program coordinator will respond to your query as soon as possible. And the second one is a non-academic query. Sometimes maybe the LMS is not working, maybe the SEB is not working, maybe the OBS system is not working. That time you can call or a mail to the support executive, and this support executive will call to the assistant director, and assistant director will manage all these things. So this is the way how you can get support from us. Thank you all. If you have any query, please let me know.
Well, thank you, Dr. Tiwari. I request learners to first of all lower your hands, then we will ask one by one. But somehow I have noted down the varying queries by the learners during this current session. The queries are regarding the pattern or mode of appearing the term and exam. The students are asking, like in the term and exam, whether it is a handwritten exam or it is a kind of MCQ based exam or descriptive exam, or what kind of interface it is in which we have to appear the exam as a term and exam candidate.
Okay. Yeah, when students come, that time they have a lots of query, because we are going to give the online mode exams. How we will give the online mode exams, and it will be the written, it will be the objectives, and there will be long, short, and how there are parts of the question papers, and which type of question paper will come, which type of question will come. So one by one I am giving the answers of these questions. The first, in a previous slide we have discussed, you have 2 parts, internal and external. So here in internal, you are already known we will give the assignment in a LMS, and you have to submit these assignment in the form of PDF. So it is a too much easy task. The second one is in an in-term examination, how we can appear in an in-term examination. In an in-term examination, we are using the OBS systems, and there will be the SEB. Well, what will be the role of this software? We will provide the link of the software. That time you have to install this particular software in your systems, and there is only the particular need. The system, your system should have a Windows operating system. And after the installation of this SEB, you will get the link, username and password link. You can enter the username and password. That time you will able to appear in this online exam management system. The next one, how we will give the exam. So here will be the, you have to type the exam. So this question paper divided in a three parts. First part is objective. In a objective questions, you have a 10 questions in a 20 marks. Each question carry 2 marks. In a B parts, you have a short question. You have to attempt any 4 in a out of 6. In a part C, you have a 4 questions and you have to attempt any 3 questions. And this will be the 5 question for 5 marks for each question in a short and 10 marks for a long question. Total will be the 17 marks question in the term examinations. So here you have to type. No need to worry. Okay, sir, I am not a typer. How I will type? What will be the speed? You will. We will give you the sufficient time, because in a short answer you have to give your answer only 200 to 250 words, and long answers you have to give only the 400 to 450 words. So it is easy and you have enough time, 3 hours, and the proctors will see if you are doing the anything. That time it will also recorded by the AI system, and it will also alert you कि you are now focusing on your camera or not. So it is a too easy task. So no need to worry about how we give the exams.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tiwari, for the detailed description regarding the temptation of term and exam through the OEBS system, that is online examination booking system. Adding to this point, some learners are asking about the schedule of the exam. So for your kind information, dear learners, the schedule of your term and exam will be shared to you well in advance, approximately 2 to 3 weeks prior to the commencement of term and exam. So during that 3 weeks duration, prior 3 weeks duration, you will given a decent time to choose the slots. For that also you can share your request via email to the support executive help desk regarding the examination appearing activity. One more thing, the assignment section. Students are asking what is the format of assignment. No doubt the assignment is yet to be shared to you in the last week of December or maybe third week of December. And once you access that assignment, which is be shared by your respective course coordinator, you have to attempt that assignment in the upcoming 2-3 months of duration. And that submission can be either in doc format or a PDF format also. You have to type that assignment of the respective race query, race questions, and then submit it. Both the formats, doc and PDF, are acceptable. Now the point is, you may please attend session. There may be some queries among the learners, like in this current weekend, that is Saturday, Sunday, 11th and 12th of December, it is a 0th session, 0th lecture session. Your actual lecture 1 session will start from the next week onwards, where the respective subject course coordinator or subject matter expert who are actually sharing you the overview of the respective subject, while having an introductory part in terms of course introduction, while having an introductory part in the form of learning objective come learning outcome through this course. While learning objective come learning outcome, we mean to say like what thing you will learn after completing the learning aspects of the actual course from the initial stage to the last stage. How and what manner this course will helps you in the near future regarding your gaining of knowledge, or as well as regarding your achieving some goal in terms of job, some other aspects also. Third thing, as a course introduction, every subject matter expert come course coordinator is explaining you the detailed description unit wise, while making you aware about the overview of the course which you would like to be learn in the upcoming weekends. Another thing I will summarize, like there are some queries from the learner regarding the LMS. LMS is one of the important interface which is will be a helping tool for you for any kind of communication or effective communication. It is very necessary you may explore the LMS, that is learning management system, then only you will get some more clear idea. Simply while demonstration through subject matter expert come course coordinator in the respective weekend classes is one part, but another part is it in your hand. Until unless if you do not practice or do not explore yourself at your end regarding the LMS interface or LMS respective components, then only your confidence level will become high and it will be more appropriate for you also. Some of the persons, learners are raising query like that they are not able to access the LMS, or they are having some issue in the access in the e-library. I am requesting to them also that these things are feasible. Maybe exceptions are always there. You may share your concern to the help desk through email or via help desk number, so that they can note it down and they will improvise the issue or concern which you are having. Coming to the next section, there are some more questions from the learner side that they are saying, Dr. Tiwari.
Sakti sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to explain one thing regarding the exam.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
I have seen some questions regarding the examinations. So shall I?
Yes, please, sir. Please, sir. Please continue.
Okay. Yeah, students. We already discussed before the few minutes. You have a deadline. Yes, you have a deadline. Suppose that in a March you have a deadline. 10 to 20th March you have to complete your exam. The first thing. And the second, you will get a more than 3 papers for a same question papers. It means maybe the first paper occur in a 11, second same question paper, same subjects will same subject have a 4 question paper maybe. The first question paper will in a 11, second question paper in a 12, third question paper in a 4th, and the last question paper will occur in a 6th or a 7th March. Okay, that time you can only choose one question paper. You can't give a same question paper in a multiple times. According to your time, when you are free, that time you can choose your particular question set of question paper in a particular date. Okay, so we have a multiple sets of a same subjects. According to your choice, you can choose a particular set according to your time, and all sets are different from each other. So we are saying it is a flexible. In any time, any date, any time you can choose any subjects, and you can also attempt your all question in a within 2 days, or you can attempt your question within a 10 days and in your flexible time schedule. So here, so this is the purpose of a multiple flexible word. Multiple flexible, multiple question paper in your flexible time.
Dr. Tiwari, absolutely. Since Dr. Tiwari is a very senior academician having a strong academic cum administrative background, and for a kind information, dear learners, Dr. Tiwari is involved in the examination department also, being as an assistant control of examiner. So that's a really fortunate us that we get some brief information regarding the term and exam, because the exact expert faculty are with us in this session only. But I'm requesting once again, since it is a very last and going activity, it's too early to ask such kind of questions in the very zero session. Actually, we have to proceed while going our learning mechanism of this current course. That all the things will be well intimated to you by Dr. Tiwari, me, and other subject course coordinator also in the due course of time. When the right time will come, we will give you a multiple reminder, come discussions or some other alerts also It's not like that something which is happen instantly. Just because many of the learners face challenges at the end of the semester also for accessing the LMS. For that perspective, we have this time initiated a new task to make you aware about the accessibility of LMS from the zero session of this current term only, so that you make your habit in accessing the LMS. There is a one more question, Tiwari. Is there any model question paper which is to be shared to the learners?
Yeah, definitely. And we have already explained. It is too early to know about the how to going the end term exam. Today is the first day, and Dr. Sakti already explained it is the first day and Juliet lecture, and we are talking about the end term exams. No need to worry in a term of exam. We have a lot of time and 3 to 4 months, so no need to worry. First, go through the LMS, check the courses, check the videos because you have to complete these things, and you have to give the assignments. And when will time come, that time we will definitely explain all of these things. We will send you reminders, we will send you the model question papers, we will send you the sections of question paper, how we are going to ask the question, what are the marks, and how you have to give the exams. We have already discussed, and again we will discuss during the exam. So first, student, with the enthusiasm, you have to go to the LMS. If you have any problem to access the LMS, please let us know. Go through the course materials. We will available every week to solve your queries for from the live sessions. So please focus on your course, and don't take the must stress about the end term examinations. It will happen on time, and we will definitely help you out regarding these exams.
Yeah, absolutely, Dr. Tiwari. In addition to that, there are some alternative queries like what will be the mode of whether the degree of BCA is a regular or distance. I would like to clarify you that your BCA degree is an online degree, and that online degree which is totally being recognized, it is a UGC entitled BCA degree. It is fully recognized, come acceptable globally. You are equivalent to that other mode of learners for grabbing a job in the IT come corporate world, government sector or private sector. Also, you are equivalent to the other mode of learners in terms of pursuing higher studies also. That higher studies is not being restricted to some local region. Within India, you are eligible to pursue your higher studies, that you can go for an MCA or MBA program also after BCA. Within India also and outside India also, in any repute university globally. You will be getting another query from the learners. You will be getting your recorded sessions on the LMS in the within the week of upcoming days. You just be in touch. Hopefully, maybe the zero session will be uploaded or not. That is yet to be decided. But the actual lecture from the next weekend onwards will definitely will be uploaded on the LMS for your reference and for your reading or learning ability. Again, I'm saying when we say about the kind of learning aspects, it's necessary that you should be aware. The complete schedule has been shared to you in LMS. Some of the guys are asking the query in the chat box like uh, whether we are having the right link or not. It is a clear and crisp mentioning the details in the LMS, like what is the time of the lecture, what is the date, what is the day, to whom the lecture has been assigned, and what is the time slot. So you can go on that aspects also. Now coming to the main point of discussion, after covering the various left and right side of discussion, Dr. Tiwari today discuss us about the overview of the understanding PC and troubleshooting course of PCA first term. I'm requesting you, if there will be some any curiosity regarding the understanding PC and troubleshooting key terminologies, then there are still 5 to 10 minutes we can handle in that direction. Otherwise, no further will be discussed in the different mode. I am requesting you learners. So regarding the PCM troubleshooting, I need some query. If you want to ask some terminology or terms that Dr. Tiwari discussed today, please feel free to ask in the chat box so that we can answer. I have been looking in the chat box. It is yet to be known, like the terms which you are curious to know that Dr. Tiwari today discusses. Dr. Tiwari, the question is, what is the difference between CMOS and BIOS?
Yeah, CMOS stand for the suppose if you are going to shut down your system, that time when you are open your system, that time you will see the battery time is already update. Why our time is already update? Because of the CMOS. CMOS is a small battery and it will manage the your internal part during the shutdown. So you are getting these things. Okay. So when you are going to on your system, that time your system is shut down or a sleep mode, that time CMOS is working. And BIOS for the basic input output systems. When you are going to system your boot, how your system is boot, that time there is a some predefined written codes. Okay, because of these written codes in a permanent memory. What are the permanent memory here? ROM, in a ROM. So this BIOS will goes for the ROM and it will can inject for the system boot. And also when we are going to install a new Windows, that time is also BIOS working for it and it can manage the input and output devices, can internally all input and output devices, and here we do not require the operating system. It already manage all these things. With the help of BIOS, operating system can inject.
Thank you, Dr. Tiwari. There is a question regarding RISC and CISC.
Okay.
Maybe the term is not directly related to this subject. Exactly, I am not able to recall it. If the question is indirect question, then you may relate in that way also, sir.
Yeah, it is a component of it is a working mechanism of RISC and CISC.
Generally, for a computer architecture, these two are the components which are being discussed for the overall handling of the structure of the computer system. The technicality aspects are further more in this RISC and CISC as per their procedural approach.
Yeah, RISC is stand for the redundant instruction set computing, and CISC is stand for the complex instruction sets computing. And these are both are the part of the computer architectures. Okay, so in RISC we are working we are talking about the redundant array, and in a CISC we will talking about the complex instruction. How we can reduce instruction set computing and how we can manage the complex instruction set computing. To reduce the instruction set, we are managed by the RISC, and complex instruction set computing we are managed by the CISC.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Tiwari. The another query from the learner side, like they want to know some little bit introductory part about the serial port and the parallel port.
Serial port and
parallel port.
Parallel port. Okay. In a serial port, we are already discussed. In a serial port, we are working in a asynchronous mode. And what is the asynchronous? One by one. In this things we are using in a modem technology. When we are using the analog or a digital signal. In a parallel port, here we are discussing about data transfer in parallelly from one port to one place to the another place, means internally system how to manage. So we can send the data in a 8-bit or 16-bit parallelly from one port to another port in a serial ports. We are using the transmission speed in a serial in a asynchronous mode, and in a here we are using the bottom up model in a serial ports, but in a parallel mode we are using the top down models. So there is a basic difference between here. There is a bottom up and top down. Top down we are using parallel, and bottom up we are using the serial ports. And here we are using the serial port, ensuring the minimum data redundancy, and it also focused on the reusability of the data. But here is a high ratio of a redundancy, because here we are managing the parallelly. So here the maybe the data redundant, but here the data we are going to send the data in a less redundant manner. And here we are using the wire connection in a serial ports, but in a parallel port we are not using the wire connection. So these are basic difference between the serial port and parallel port.
So covering one more query, since
Yes.
hardly 5 minutes left.
Okay.
The query is regarding some knowledge about power supply and power management.
Power management. In a power supply, it means how to supply the power and how to manage the power. It terms already says. What is the difference in managing the power in internal components? Because we are using the some basic components in a delegate components in a computer system. That time the power supply is the most important things, and these powers managed by the operating system. Operating system is also responsible for managing the power. Okay, so in a power consumption, how the amount of the power using of the amount of power consumption and management of the power different component is called the power management. So there is a main basic difference between power and power management.
Absolutely, sir. Very well said. Because power supply and power management includes all the respective facts that Dr. Tiwari shared. Even there is a scope of discussion like what will be the switching regulations, how well we can handle the power problems in a potential way, what are the way of dealing these power problems, because sometimes issues are also come in the management of power by accidentally or unexpectedly. So in what way that power management is to be done on the Windows OS, what kind of a switching activity should be done. So these are the things which Dr. Tiwari enlighten us or gives insight in this important scenario. Another thing, sir, there are some things which have been discussed by you already, but learners are curious to know once again the role of motherboard.
Okay, its name already says it is a mother of system.
Yes, please.
So here is we have a graphics card. Here we have a different buses, and it manages the buses and power management. Here is also manage the graphics of your systems, video of your systems. So if we are installing the device, that time here is a device to manage your graphics. Here is a ports to manage your RAM. How to manage the RAM? There are a port to manage. There are a port slot to install your RAM. Okay. And this is also known as the circuit board, because here is all circuits which are manage the system. In motherboard, if you can see, there are a motherboard is also enabled the CPU, RAM slots, and here is also CMOS battery slots. So it can manage everything of your system. So in operating system, operate the system, but how to operate the system with the help of motherboard? Because in a motherboard is a hardware. So motherboard is a hardware, and here is a CPU, here is a memory sound card, memory slice card, NIC, and if there are several ports to manage your systems. So if you are talking about in terms of ports, that time you can see here NIC, here you can see LAN. Here is NIC means network interface card. Here is also a slot for the processor. Here is also a slot for a RAMs. So we can buses, we can insert the buses table from at that place. So it's the most important device of your system. We can not imagine your system by the without the motherboards. So maybe the scientists think about it is a mother of system, because everything is managed and everything, all resources is managed by the motherboard. So we can say the name of this board is a motherboard.
So thank you so much, Dr. Tiwari. We have covered all of the most of the queries from the learner side. Still, if there are some queries which is yet not to be covered by us, if in case, then we will try to cover it in the upcoming weekend classes also, because there is a lots more miles which we have to cover in the understanding in troubleshooting course, and gradually once we move to classes, we will have a more detailed knowledge come idea about the different terminology come application areas of understanding PLC and troubleshooting course. So for this comment, I will go into the submission mode. Thank you, Dr. Tiwari ji. Now I'm stopping and going to position. Thank you once again for giving the time in this current 1 hour. Thank you. Now I'm stopping the recording.
Thank you.